All right, so let's get started. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. So let's get started. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, good, good. So before we get started with the main issue, the main topic for tonight, let me quickly just ask us this question. Uh, how many of us were able to pull through with our, we had like 2 weeks program? What did we do? Were we able to do the research, register on the platform, verified our NIN, did the oil and gas industry research? Please let me get your feedback. How many of us were able to do that?
I was.
I was.
Okay. Any other person? Just two people?
I was.
Okay. That's three.
I was.
Okay.
I
That's good.
was.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's good. I think that's quite encouraging. It's also very important. You don't have time. Everything should be closing in few days, few weeks from now. So you don't have time. So if you didn't do anything last week, last 2 weeks, that means that you really have limited time to tidy up. You have so much time to tidy up. So tonight, without further ado, let's get to the business of the day. So tonight I'll be talking about the SOP that wins, telling your story with the STAR model. For me, I've never seen SOP to be something that is very difficult, sort of. I've always seen SOP from the perspective of you trying to tell your story in a captivating way that grabs the attention of the reader, okay? And at the end of the day, gives you an edge over other people you are competing with. Okay, so that's the way I've always seen an SOP. So, but tonight we'll be looking at it, we'll be following that same pattern, and I'll be sharing with you a model that worked for me and developed like other SOP I've worked on and people who I also know, and a lot of people who have also used the same model in writing their SOP. So we'll be looking at that model tonight, and some of you can also adopt that model to perfect your statement of purpose or motivation letter. All right. So let's get started. So the first question here is this: why your SOP matters? The truth is this: at the end of the day, everybody's on the same playing ground. Yeah, you have two, I have two. Sorry, you have a first class, I have a first class, or you have 2-1, I have 2-1. You are a member of a renowned organization. What's it called? Professional body. I also belong to the same professional body. You have 5 years job experience. I also do. Okay. You have served, I have served. At the end of the day, when we all submit our documents, certificates, membership of professional body, work experience, and so on, everybody eventually just come, every one of us eventually just are eventually on the same, on equal playing field. I think that's the word, equal playing field. Why? Because there is not so much difference between us, because whatever they are requesting is the same thing you also have. That was the reason why you were able to apply for the scholarship in the first place. Why? Because you met the criteria they are looking for. Same way I also met the same criteria they are looking for. You have the certificate, I have the certificate, and so on. But you see, there is something that separates, that there's something eventually that separates the scholars or the applicants, and it is the SOP or motivation letter or research proposal for people who are going to PhD. That is the dividing factor at the end of the day. And what is this SOP about? What is it really about? Number one, it's not just a biography. SOP is not your CV. No, it's a different thing from your CV. But one of the things that SOP does for you is that it gives you opportunity to show your purpose and direction, to show, okay, this is where I'm going to, and this is the path I think I can follow. Another thing it also does is that it gives you an opportunity of telling the scholarship body why why you should be the most preferred candidate and why you deserve the investment. Because truly, scholarship is an investment in your education. All right. Another thing also that this SOP does for you is that it gives you opportunity to convince them that you can solve a specific problem in the oil and gas industry. And let me also add, this whole concept is not only peculiar to uh, PTDF scholarship that we're talking about. It's applicable to different variety of scholarships. You can use it for every scholarship. All right. So, and this is why SOP matters. So I wrote here, I said your SOP is your proposal to be trusted as a future oil and gas problem solver. And this is in light with PTDF, which is a scholarship we are currently preparing for. Okay. So SOP does one thing to your proposal, and I also using it to say, okay, you can trust me to be a problem solver or a solution provider for the oil and gas industry. Okay, so let's move on. So the next thing that comes to mind now is that what makes an SOP effective? What are those key things you need to pay attention to in your SOP? Can we all hear me? Are we still together?
Yes.
Okay, I need those feedbacks. Okay,
Yeah.
so when we see an SOP or when I'm writing an SOP and I have a paper in front of me like I do now, and I have a pen and I want to put together my SOP, or I have my system in front of me and I want to type, what are those things that makes an SOP effective? What are those things I should be looking out for that will say, okay, I think I'm on the right track in writing or developing my SOP? The first thing is clarity. Yes, you must not be vague. Your SOP, and that is one mistake that a lot of people do when you just pick somebody's SOP and or you just see a template online and you just want to copy the template and so on. Those things should always only provide you guide. Okay, so in your SOP, you can't be vague. You have to be specific, detailed. You when I mean you don't have to be vague. You don't just have to generalize things. There should be a level of specificity to whatever you are discussing. And that thing is that you can't be all over, you can't be everywhere, you can't be all over the place. And that's why it also means that it is not all the skills you have acquired in your life that can fit into a particular SOP pattern. Let me make this practical to you. If I'm applying for a scholarship that is focused on leadership, I have done a whole lot of things that are not even in line with leadership. Let me make a practical example. Let's say I want to put in for an SOP, I want to put for a scholarship that is talking about leadership, and I'm a civil engineer. The scholarship is not expecting me to start talking about how we have been able to have constructed bridges, road project I was involved in, maritime infrastructures that I was involved in, the number of buildings I was involved in, how we spend long hours on site and so on, how I can use this software, use that software, use this software, or use this technical tool. And so the scholarship is not looking for that. They are basically asking, because the scholarship is focused on leadership, I need to bring in my leadership prowess or how leadership was applied in every of those roles. Then I can focus on things like teamwork, mentorship. How was I able to guide maybe intern, okay, students who are on IT? How did I guide them, direct them? It's everything that has to do with leadership. Maybe how I made presentations and so on. Things that put me out or put me in the spotlight as a leader, somebody who works with a team, who is involved in development of other people, who is in charge, who is in control, who is rendering helping hands and so on. Okay, so but I could be putting in for another scholarship like PTDF, and the all of those things I said that will not be applicable. So you can't be everywhere, okay? And you can't be generic, you can't be vague. It is just the same way that one will prepare CV. You know, your one CV is not the right CV for every job application. Many of us make those mistakes when we started applying for jobs, and we just prepare one CV, you spread it out to your uncles, your aunties, your mommies, and everyone. They're just sharing all around. No, every job you are putting out for should have their own CV that you develop for that job. Okay. All right. So having said that, is that another thing about your SOP is that it has to be relevant. I think I've talked about that. It has to be relevant. Like the example I gave of leadership now. So whatever I'm saying, it has to be relevant to it. Whatever skill set or whatever I'm saying has to be relevant to the objective of the scholarship I'm putting in for. So in this case now, whatever you're saying have to be directly connected to the oil and gas sector issues. Okay. And that thing is structure. You can't be everywhere. There is a chronological order of flow. Uh, First paragraph should have something to do with the second. The second paragraph should have something to do with the third paragraph. The third should have something to do with the fourth. So there should be this flow, okay, well organized thoughts, and that is where the STAR model comes in, which is what we'll be discussing today. Because the STAR model helps you with this structuring, so that you are not just everywhere. You can basically look at your SOP and see the flow from your introduction to your conclusion. Okay, so impact. Another thing that makes your SOP effective is that it also gives opportunity of demonstrating your impact, demonstrate past result and future plan. Yes, because every SOP in every scholarship will ask you, what's your future plan? What's your future goal? What is your 5 years plan? What's your plan after you are done with the program? And so on. So SOP gives opportunity of saying, okay, I'll be giving back, I'll be involved in this. What will you do after the whole of this investment? All right. So having said that, now that we are quite clear on what makes an SOP effective, so let's move now to the STAR model itself. But before I continue, let me get our feedback again. Can you all hear me? Are we still together?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. All right. So let's go on. Now that we are still together, so let's continue. So you saying something? Are you saying something? Someone want to say something? All right. Can we go on?
He said he can hear you.
Oh, all right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So this STAR model, what is it really about? What does it mean? So I said structuring is a very important aspect of your SOP. You must be able, SOP is like having a chain, okay? Having a chain, they are interconnected. One paragraph leads to another paragraph leads to another paragraph, and so on. Okay. And that's one of the way you can keep your reader hooked, captivated, and stay on course from introduction to the conclusion of your SOP. All right. So what does it mean? STAR basically it's an acronym that means situation. The S in it stands for situation. And what you do in the situation part of your SOP is that you provide a context or background story. We would explain in depth. The T part of it stands for task, which is you basically, it focused on a particular challenge or objective you have in mind. A is the action, which is talking about specific steps you took or you are taking. All right. And the R is the results, which is talking about what was the outcome of your T and A. Okay. What was the outcome of your T and A? What did you learn or achieve through it? So at the end of the day, STAR model does one thing for you. It helps you to tell a focused problem-solving story that proves your ability to make an impact. So it helps you structure your story and create a flow. And you will see it as we go along, and also as we look at some of the case studies I have prepared here. So now let's take it one by one. Situation, what is it about? So let's start with recanting the situation. We said STA, which is the STAR model, the S there, the meaning of the S there, the first word there, S means situation. So, and I said recanting the situation. So what they basically want you to do, or what the model help you do in your S, is to recant a particular situation. And I'm going to explain to you. You can't just say you just woke up and you just want to apply for PTDF scholarship. From where? What happened? Why PTDF? Is PTDF the only scholarship opportunity in the world? Okay, you want to solve problem in the oil and gas industry. Okay, why the oil and gas industry? What led you to that conclusion? What led you to that point of you saying, oh, I think I need to do something in this industry. I think I need to do something in this sector. Okay, so you situation, recounting the situation, basically it's saying what situation led to that? What circumstance, what event led to you coming to a point where I think I need to be in this industry. I need to do something in the oil and gas industry. So, and here I said, connect your past experience to really meet in the oil and gas industry. You would look at whatever experiences you've had in the past and see how those experiences can be connected to the oil and gas industry. So your situation also can be a personal story. And that works very well every time. Okay, it could be a personal story. And what does this personal story do? It reviews how you discovered the industry or specific challenge. So you could kick off by talking about your own personal story that led to your interests in the oil and gas industry, or that led you to a specific challenge in the oil and gas industry. Why that particular challenge? Why upstream? Why downstream? Why midstream? Okay, and that thing, and I think this is the one I oftentimes use a lot, is staggering statistics. So you will get a staggering statistics about the oil and gas industry. Okay. Maybe Nigerian is not meeting its OPEC quota. Maybe the oil and gas industry is losing a lot of money or whatever. But just make sure that the statistics is staggering. It's something that is visible. Okay. And this statistics also beam spotlight on a major issue in the oil and gas industry. Okay. So, and this issue could sometimes be maybe an environmental issue, economic issue, legal issue, or even a technical issue or whatever. You could look at, okay, this is the environmental concern of oil and gas industry in the Niger Delta. So maybe they are oftentimes having maybe clash with the community. Can you do something to help? Do you have a solution to resolve that? They have been facing a lot of oil spillage issue in that region. Do you think you can solve that problem for the oil and gas industry? And you would come, or you would let them know how big the problem is by making reference to staggering statistics. Another thing is that you could also look at a national development need. Maybe the federal government just announced something, or the current administration is looking in a particular direction or in a particular area of investment and so on. Maybe the Port Harcourt refinery, the federal government is looking at doing something. You can align with that in line with national development. Okay. So another thing is that it could also be maybe a professional academic experience. Maybe you did a research in school. Okay, maybe you did a research in school and you think that the outcome of this research would have a whole lot of impact in the oil and gas industry. And that could be your link to wanting to solve a problem in the industry. Also, it could be maybe an observation, maybe when you were serving during your NYC, it could be an observation, maybe you served in Port Harcourt and you observed something in Port Harcourt, or during an internship, or when you are involved in CDS or industry engagement, you came across something or something, you came across something or noticed something, and you think, well, we need to pay attention to this, or I need to do something about this in the oil and gas industry. Another thing is that you could look at a gap that the oil and gas industry, a gap or an inefficiency in the oil and gas industry, and like, okay, there's a gap there. How can we help fill this gap for the oil and gas industry? And this gap you're talking about could be something you discovered or noticed in oil production, refining, regulation, logistics, and so on. Okay, can you help? Can you do something? You could use that now as a link into the oil and gas industry. Another thing is that it could be a motivation. It could be your own personal motivation to make contribution to make contribution to the oil and gas industry. And by ripple effects, you're also contributing to national development. Okay, you're also making contribution to national development, and that's what situation is expected to capture, but not all. So I decide to let my situation be my personal story, then I'll flow in that line of personal story. If it's a stagnant statistics that I want to use as a link to my interest in the oil and gas industry, I will use that. Now, if it's maybe a concern, an experience I had at a point, maybe it was something I saw during NYC, maybe because I served in Port Harcourt, okay, I noticed maybe some challenges the oil and gas industries or companies are facing. And I think, okay, I think I can do something. Or a research I did, and I think, okay, this research does not only have application in my own industry. Okay, this research that I did in my undergraduate have tremendous impact also in the oil and gas industry. Okay, and that could be you basically recanting the situation. All right. So, do we have any question at this point? All right. So, if you don't have any question, is someone saying something?
Yes. In recounting the situation,
all right,
are we to apply all these bullet points at the same time, or we should just pick one of them and elaborate on it?
Yeah, I think I just answered that, man. You can't pick all. You can't talk stagnant like this. No. You just pick one, then build on it. So this recounting the situation is basically you are trying to create a link to the oil and gas industry. You will see from case studies. I have like case studies prepared. But let me quickly let me use the case studies to explain it. So that would give you more clarity. So let's look at this case study. Case study one, it's a lady who is a lawyer. She's a law graduate who wants to apply for this PTDF. And now she wants to develop a situation, and she's our case study one. And look at what I was able to put together. This is what she puts together for our situation, and I'm going to read it. Okay, she said, as a legal intern with a Lagos-based energy law firm, I encountered a case involving a major dispute between an independent marketer and a regulatory agency over fuel adulteration. What struck me was the absence of the legal literacy among local marketers, which often left them exposed to regulatory sanctions. This experience revealed how legal gaps contribute to downstream inefficiencies and environmental risks. So, can someone tell me what did you notice in this case, in this lawyer's situation? So let's make it interactive here. What did you notice? I need responses, please.
She identified the situation while she was interning.
Okay.
She used her personal experience. She used her personal experience to develop her.
Any other person?
Yes. I think her point was basically on downstream sector, and it reflects on the legal literacy inefficiency in the system.
Any other contribution?
Pointed out a gap and inefficiency in the legal experience in that energy firm.
So does that capture what I said from that the part it can follow?
Yes.
Yeah. So for this person, what she did was that she was working as an intern in a Lagos-based energy law firm. So there was an encounter she had, which was involving a major dispute between an independent marketer. Do you know independent marketers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are we familiar with that term, independent marketers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Who are they?
I think
who are independent marketers?
Like, okay, can I come in?
Yes, you can come in.
The independent marketers are those that are not under the regulatory body of the federal government, just like the Dangote refinery, which can which can upscale or downscale the fuel price at any time. So,
and that's it. From the word independent, so they are on their own. So they are not affiliated in that sense to maybe one government body or anything. So we have those people who operate at the downstream. And in most instances, many of them are the one who run these tankers. Yes, independent marketers, the one who move petroleum product from one point to the others. They are involved in the sales, distribution, and so on. All right. So what she saw, and there are also regulatory agencies, government bodies that regulate them. Okay. So there was not an issue she noticed, and this is the issue. Please, kindly let's mute ourselves, please. Yeah, thank you. So during the internship, she noticed something, that there an issue came up rather about adulterations and the like. And what struck her was that this issue shouldn't have been this if the independent marketers really have legal literacy knowledge of the do's and don'ts, the Petroleum Act and the likes. They know their rights, what they need to do, what they don't need to do, and so on, where they need to be careful. She just realized that there is that knowledge gap. They are operating in the industry, and they lack a whole lot of knowledge about the industry where they operate. And she saw that. She now said, and what this happens is that it left them to regulatory sanctions because they keep falling foul of the law. They keep falling foul of the law every time. Why? Because they don't even know the rules and regulations that guide the industry where they are working. So, and that was an experience she had. She now said this experience reviewed how legal gaps contribute to downstream inefficiencies. And you know, sanctions upon sanctions, because they are major stakeholders in that downstream, and they're having sanctions running foul of the law every time. It will lead to inefficiencies in that sector and environmental risks also. Why? Because we are even talking about the issue of fuel adulterations here. So why it works is that, first, this is somebody's personal legal experience. It highlights a systemic gap. The person was able to see it is this gap that I saw that I think I need to do something for the oil and gas industry. She now went ahead and said, set the stage for a tax in policy and legal education or reform. So this is a link. So whenever you meet this person and ask this person now, that why oil and gas industry, she will recount this situation. That it was this situation that bet my interest in the oil and gas industry. So if I've not had this situation or this experience during my internship, I may not have even thought of, maybe I wouldn't have even known in the first place there was a challenge in the oil and gas industry that needed my attention, or that we need to do something about. All right. So let's move forward. I think I've dwelt on that. So this is the second case study. This person is a mechanical engineer, and he works in the power sector. All right. So let's hear his own. Excuse me. So let's hear his own situation. How the link is linked into the oil and gas industry. The situation that bets his interest in the oil and gas industry. So let's see for this person. Excuse me, please. Let me get water. So thank you. Please kindly mute yourself, please. Can you kindly mute yourself, please? Can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. Can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself, please? Yeah, thank you. So, okay. All right, so let's see. Udom song, Emmanuel. Mute yourself. Okay, please let's mute ourselves so I don't have to be going back and forth. Please, can you let's mute ourselves so that we can have a productive time here? So can you see my screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's look at this engineer's situation now. He said, as a mechanical engineer with over 5 years of experience working in the power sector, maintaining gas turbines, I've seen firsthand how small mechanical faults can cause major system failures and costly shutdowns. Considering the significant role that the oil and gas industry plays in powering the power sector, it made me realize that if similar my people, please, let's mute ourselves. Just talk and kindly mute yourself so it doesn't distract us, please. Thank you. So let's go on. I said it made me realize that if similar failures happen in upstream gas facilities, the losses could be even worse. This realization convinced me that advancing equipment reliability in upstream operations is a worthy national priority. So at this point, let me get your feedback. Can somebody analyze for me what is the situation of this engineer? Like we did for the first one.
This to my wedding. This to my wedding.
Yeah, please go on.
Okay, thank you. For me, from what I'm seeing here is that the engineer is actually using his experience.
Yeah.
No. From and what's it called?
Who is hold on, please. Hold on, please. Who is that person? Hold on, please. Hold on.
Okay.
Please, if you are not speaking, if you are not making contributions, can you kindly just mute yourself? If you are not making contributions, just mute yourself so we can have one person speaking at a time, please. All right, please go on.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. What I can say about this is that the engineer is actually using his experience, his past experience, and forsaking a problem that may occur.
A problem that may occur.
Something like this happened, then there's going to be a problem. Then it's like he's thinking about a problem in advance. That's what I can actually deduce from the.
Perfect. Can we have other contributions? This is the best way to learn. So this is the best way. So when you are writing yours, you also go through this critical process of thinking and okay, which angle can I come in from and so on. So that's why I'm using this case studies approach. So we can really learn. So it's not just a lecture, it's also discussion. So can we also have other contributions from other people?
Yes, like the last speaker said,
okay,
he's speaking from his over 5 years experience that he has had in the power sector. Being that power and gas turbines are mostly deployed at the upstream level. So he was able to discover the problem that a small problem can cause. A small problem in the I think from the second line, how small mechanical faults can cause major system failures. Yeah, he was just trying to like link it to the upstream, since that is where the power sector is more required.
That is not where the power sector is more required. Not at all. So let me get other two contributions, and I would make more clarifications on it. Can I get two more contributions?
Well, I see a connection, especially the last line on this first paragraph where it talks about national development coming into play if he's able to solve the power problem for this. I know that there's a place of his professional experience exposing him to this challenge, but then there's that motivation that he wants to contribute to the nation's development from this problem. So that's what I was able to deduce, sir.
All right, great. Thank you. Thank you. Someone is raising up his hand. Daman,
Yes.
yeah, please go on.
Yes, sir. In a nutshell, what he's trying to say is a solution that he's trying to prefer for future amendments based on his experience. He has seen the setbacks that has already occurred in the downstreams. So looking at the upstreams, you know that if such problem is going to occur, is going to be more. So for him to prevent that, he suggests that there is need of him of the oil and gas to have something that will tackle that situation in the upper stream. That's exactly what he's trying to say. It's just a solution for the future occurrences.
Okay. Thank you everyone for your contribution. So let me kindly help you unpack it. First, the engineer this is an engineer who had like over 5 years experience. He's working in the oil and gas industry. Sorry, working in the power sector, basically power generations and so on. So, but what his area of specialty is maintaining gas turbines. How many of us know what gas turbines are?
No.
Do we know what gas turbines are?
Used for generating electricity.
Yes. They are basically used for generating electricity. That's what they do. So for him, he's a mechanical engineer involved in the maintenance of these gas turbines, just like every other mechanical component and so on. But this is what he noticed. Over the 5 years of working in that role, he noticed that he has seen firsthand how small mechanical faults can cause major system failures and costly shutdowns. It means that mechanical failures in such gas turbines maybe can trip off, maybe can cause blackout in a particular area for days, and they are trying to fix it and so on. Let's look at, for example, a practical example. You know, every time we talk in Nigeria, we talk about this national grid collapse. See it in that case. Let's say the national grid collapse in quotes now is caused by this mechanical fault. Okay, caused by this mechanical fault. And he has seen the devastating impact of that in the 5 years. So he is now saying, look at it, considering the significant role the oil and gas plays in powering the power sector. That is me just playing with words here. Powering the power sector. So I'm currently working at power generation, and a small mechanical issue leads to major concern or costly shutdown for us. I also know that in the upstream, there are a whole lot of mechanical components and so on. And I know the significant role that the oil and gas industry plays in powering the power sector. It's me just playing with words, basically. So the significant role they play in the power sector. And that is true because you are talking about gas turbine. Gas turbines are from the oil and gas industry. Okay, he now said if the power sector, no, if the oil and gas, if this mechanical fault, just follow the thought, mechanical faults have this significant impact on the power sector. So I'm now scared that if this type of occurrences also happen in the oil and gas industry, that will be quite devastating. Why? Because of the major role it plays in powering the power sector. So that means that if we are unable to get gas, then we can't get power. If we can't get power, then the entire country or area, maybe they will now be shut down. So there will be blackout in the country. You could see the link of, it means what he's saying is that the failure of the oil and gas industry would have impact on the power sector, which ripple effect will now be on the entire nation. So he now said, it made me realize that if similar failures happen in upstream gas facilities, where this gas is coming to our turbine, if similar issues that we have here happens there, the losses could be even worse compared to what we are experiencing at, and I've been able to help you analyze that now. He now said, this realization convinced me that advancing equipment reliability in upstream operations is a national priority. So what he's saying is that let's forget power. Oil, the gas, where we are getting the gas from itself, it's a place we have to do everything to protect. My sector is important. Gas turbine is important, but the source of the gas it's even more important than the turbine itself. Is that clear? Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that is what he's saying. And he now linked it to, then this is a national priority. So you can also look at your own life or whatever, how you want to tell this story here, and look at whatever you have done now, and look at if this thing is having this impact in this industry, then I think it will create more devastating impact in the oil and gas industry. So this is the reason, and maybe I've been able to provide solution in my own industry. So I'm bringing these solutions that I've developed or found in my own industry, I'm bringing it down to the oil and gas industry. So with that, what situation basically does for you is that we want to see that point. I think there's a word called epiphany. Is it epiphany or what's that word, please? Sarah, what's that word?
Epiphany.
Epiphany, sir.
Epiphany. And what does that word mean? Yeah. So that's the word I was looking for. So it's a point where you come to that realization or manifestation and say, oh, I think I need to do something. No, I need to do something. And that is what you are basically doing with situation. An event led to your decision. What is that event? Was it a personal story? Was it a staggering statistics you came across in the newspaper? Is it a direction the government is going into that you want to align yourself with? Is it a research you did in school and you realize that, okay, I think the outcome of this research would be of great help to the oil and gas industry? What is that situation? And that is what you want to do in that situation aspect, recanting that situation, recanting the event, recanting the moment that led to that epiphany. All right. So I haven't said that. Hope we are all getting it. I want to be sure.
Yes,
is it
sir.
making sense at all?
Thank you, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
it is.
Okay. So now that we've done with the S, let's move to the
Yes,
T.
sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. So let's move to the T. The T aspect is the tax. So when we talk about the tax, what are we talking about basically? Situation has been unpacked. The next thing in the STAR model is the T, which is the tax. What is the tax basically about? So first, what you do in the tax is that you set out to explain what you set out to do in response to the issue you saw. Is that clear? Hello?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Yeah. So I said what you are doing in the tax is that you want to explain. Okay, I've seen. I have an epiphany, and I realized, oh, there's a problem in the oil and gas industry that come to my attention. I want to do something about. It is at that point of tax that you want to maybe now make a roadmap on how do I go about it. So you set out to do in response to the issue you saw. All right. And this also, like we saw in the situation, you have to show you had a clear purpose or direction. You could have an epiphany and not have a clear direction of what to do about it. In this tax, you have to spell it out. Reflect on how you responded to a problem or need. Okay? Be something, it could be something you took initiative on, either personally or professionally, linked to a bigger picture in the oil and gas, even if you are still outside the industry. So this tax does not mean you will have any business with the oil and gas industry. And from the two situations we saw, we realized that they don't work in the industry. And I particularly picked those examples of people who don't even work in the industry at all, and who can still find a way of linking up with the industry in one way or the other. So let's look at our case studies again, and that will provide all the necessary clarity that we need to explain the tax. So we are still using the same lawyer and our engineer. So this is what she said in our tax. She said, seeing the legal knowledge gap in downstream operation, I set out to study how energy law rather, especially the Petroleum Act, could be simplified and made more accessible to small and mid-sized marketers. My goal was to propose a legal education model that could help downstream operators comply with safety, product quality, and environmental regulations. So, as usual, why does this work? Now let's unpack it together. Contributions, please. From your knowledge of tax, has this person be able to, does this paragraph fit into that tax? Does it explain it? Does it capture the tax?
Yes, sir.
From what you currently know. Okay, go on, please.
Yes, sir. Because she shared here how she responded to the problem of the independent marketers not having adequate knowledge, and then she also linked it to the big picture, that's the oil and gas industry. She tied that together, sir. So what she has done, she explained.
Okay. So other contributions, please. Thank you.
So, yeah. So to further portray what is from this tax, she also spelled out the possibility of her simplifying the Petroleum Industrial Act down to the marketers, so they can have the knowledge of this act, so they can be able to have the general knowledge of the Petroleum Industrial Act.
So I need two more contributions, then I'll give some insight there. Two more contributions, please.
Okay, what I'm seeing here is that number one, she has a clear direction of where she's going to.
Thank you for that word.
About the legal part, she has a clear direction. Another thing that I'm seeing here is that she has a way that she's going to respond to the problem that she sees. And like she has a way, okay, there's a problem here. This is the direction I'm going, and I have a way. I have a way that I'm going to respond to the problem that I'm seeing. So, and everything that she's still saying is she's relating it to oil and gas in a big picture. Like, okay, this is how oil and gas is going to work in the oil and gas aspect. So that's the little I can say about.
No, not little. That's awesome. One more. One more, my people. One more.
What I can see, she was able to narrow everything back to the situation from the beginning. And she on her own wants to, or rather she has done studies on how she can further simplify these laws so that it can be accessible to those marketers, right? It seems from her own point of view, they didn't understand, or they didn't have access to these laws. That was why they did what they did. But with this her let me call it proposal now, she'll be able to achieve this. So that's all I can say.
And that's quite, I think you guys did the unpacking well. Here, it's, I will always be going back to, because it's a flow. There's a situation that I've come to see in the oil and gas industry. Okay. Then the next thing is that, how can we go about this situation? How can we tackle this situation? How can we? There are 1001 approaches to the situation. Another person may say, okay, let's build an academy. And that person will say, let's go to the National Assembly. There are 1001 way the situation she described could be solved. But she has decided to stick with a particular way. Okay? And that's what she is outlining here. That she is now saying, I think to tackle this problem, we should look at legal education model that could help downstream operators comply with safety, product quality, and environmental regulations. All right. So let's go back to our engineer. We have seen our lawyer. So let's see our engineer. So engineer said, after reflecting on the connection between turbine failures and upstream gas infrastructure, I realized there was a deeper reliability problem that needed solving at the source in oil feed systems. I set a clear goal to pivot my engineering career into the oil and gas industry and focus on improving equipment reliability in gas production facilities. So let me get your contributions again. Let's unpack this together. Contributions, please. Hello.
Hello, sir. So
Yeah.
Again, this mechanical engineer is quite clear on his plan, what he has also seen that would be a solution, I mean, to this challenge that he has identified. And of course tied it as well to the oil and gas industry. I mean, that's lime oil field systems.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a clear direction. Yes.
Can I get one more?
Okay. From what I'm seeing here, sir, is that he's actually doing a comparison between the oil and gas industry and the power industry. If such a thing happen, if he further his education, then he may actually have the knowledge to actually tackle such thing in the future. I realize that there is a deeper reliability problem. So the what's it called? The key point there is that the deeper reliability problem that is actually trying to what's it called to accomplish.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's great. Thank you everyone for your contributions. So here, the engineer already have a clear path. What you can notice from here is that for the lawyer and for the engineer, there's a clear path in tax. More like, okay, this is the problem I saw, and this is the approach I want to follow to solve this problem. They've not taken any action or anything. It's just you seeing something and writing on a paper and think you can go about it. Okay, and that's what they've done. So let's quickly go to, because of our time, let's quickly go to, we've seen our S, we've seen our T. Let's go to our A. Our A is the action. And the action basically is saying your evidence of effort. It shows you are active, intentional, and capable. So what are you expected to do under action? Let me run through quickly. Show what you did, not just what the team organization did. Because in most instances, you are not working, if you work with an organization and your company does something, you won't say, my company. No. What did you do as part of the team? What role did you play? What particular action did you take? Okay, you have to show what you did. Describe how you approach the challenge or goal. How did you go about it? Okay, include technical steps, research activities, learning effort, outreach, or problem-solving methods that you use. Okay, so be logical, clear, and relevant to oil and gas development. So here, what he expects you to do now is that show working. You already told us from the taxes this is what you're going to do. Now, in action, just like action, take action. What did you do, or which action did you take? All right, so let's look at our case studies again. So this is the case study for our lawyer again. So let's have two people unpack this for us, then two people unpack that of the engineer. Can I get two people who unpack this for us?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Right. Our dear lawyer here goes on to show what she has done, how her studying, taking time to actually write stuff, like where she talks about simpler checklists, putting this together, making it easy to understand even for these independent marketers, and then she shared it. So it's not enough that she developed these things. She showed that, she's ready to, get this information into the hands of many more persons. That's from what I can say. Like, she has done her workings. She's letting us know.
Thank you very much. Can I get one more person? There are 18 people on this call, excluding me, 17. Can we talk? This is how you learn.
I think just like the first person said, she has taken out her time to clearly define what she has done and what she proposes to do with further studies. I don't know, maybe that makes sense, yes.
She didn't talk about further studies, yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Okay.
she's planning to go for further studies, right? So she has carried out some she has done some work on what she's proposing.
Yeah.
Then of course, with further by furthering her education, she intends to do much more. I don't know. I think that's what I see.
Okay. So let me add that. Thank you for your contributions. First, what you will see about action is that they are detailed. You could basically know this person did this, up to the extent of saying 15 independent fuel station operators. So you can basically quantify whatever effort, activities, or things they have done. So this is no longer vague. It's something they have done that they can point to that they have achieved. All right. So, and that is what action is about, taking action. So let's see our engineer. So can I get two people unpack this engineer's route for me? Two people, please. Hello.
So for action, okay.
Please go ahead. The guy can go ahead. I think the lady spoke before. The guy can go ahead.
Okay. From what I'm seeing for the engineer is that he actually show a clear part of what he's doing currently. For like what he's doing currently. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What is it doing?
Okay. What he's doing currently, like he enrolls in online courses on gas processing and equipment reliability. So he actually still tell us further about what he has built, like what he has done, what he's doing, what he has done. He explicitly explain his capability.
Does that capture action?
Hello, what do you say?
Did that capture action?
Yeah, in a particular way, but not explicitly.
Really?
It does not capture. It captures the action that. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, it captures its action.
It captures its action.
Yeah.
The action. Oh yes, it captures its action because of what he's doing.
Yeah.
Action is what you are doing. So
Yeah.
it captures his action.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Can I get one more person?
He should.
Okay.
Fidelis is talking.
Yeah, please go on.
What he did was that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well.
Okay, what he did was that he enrolled. He wanted to know more about this equipment, maybe because it was not his own line of study before, so he wanted to know
It's
more
in power sector.
about it. Yes, so he learned in depth of it. Then how he was able to apply what he learned in building a model to simulate it. So that's what I understand by it.
You're absolutely right. Thank you for your contribution. You're absolutely right. Action is action. It means the person took action. See, let me flow it. Let me go through the flow for you again. He saw a problem, okay, from his own work experience and where he works. The T was talking about the tax. Tax basically is that he came up with there is a roadmap. This problem can be solved. There's a roadmap. Okay, basically doing some mental work and so on and so forth, created the roadmap. The next thing he did now was that following the roadmap. Okay, I've already created a roadmap. A map is useless until it is followed through. Or I already have some plans, and if the plans are not done or nothing is done about it, all you just have it is just on paper. So he has taken steps now away from paper to start taking some needed actions or responsibility. But he has not arrived at where he's going yet. But he's already on track. So, and how is he on track?
Okay.
So he took courses, as you rightly said, he's a mechanical engineer in power sector. So he doesn't really know so much about the oil and gas industry. So he started taking courses. In the process of taking courses, he learned things, reviewed NNPC and international company standards. From what he has been able to learn, he was able to build a small model that simulates compressor degradation, specific things he did, specificity, using parameters similar to those found in the oil field operations. Can you say specific? It's not vague. You can point, okay, this person took, so this person is not bamboozling you in any way. You can see clearly without missing what this person categorically did. And that is what action is about. What did you do? Okay, I work with a company and part of a team. What did you do in that team? What was the particular action you took? Okay, what was the particular action you took? All right, so let's move. So now that we have covered our A, the last one we should be having now is our T, right? Yeah, so what is T? T basically means result. So it means it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the first thing you have to know about the results. It doesn't have to be perfect or something huge. Absolutely no. But what they want your result to show is that it should show some growth, contribution, and direction. So, and this is it. What was the outcome of your actions? You have taken some actions, right? So what was the outcome? What did those actions that you took, what did they bet? Okay, even if they are small. What did you learn from the experience? From the actions you took, what did you learn? Okay, how did this influence your academic or career goal? Okay, so how does this connect to what you plan to do with PTDF scholarship? So optional, you could talk about your recognition, feedback, and changes that inspired you. All right, so let's look at our case study. Please, who is writing on my screen? Okay, so let's look at our case study again and try to unpack it. Can I get two people again to help us unpack this?
I want to appreciate how the checklist happened. The first showed me how much running to the next consider you can make to pursue advanced training and I guess no so I can help appreciate
Okay. Are you done reading? Can you help us unpack it now? Contributions, please. Two people to help us unpack.
Okay, in summary, what I noticed about it is that the result she got really made her develop interest and passion in advancing her training in oil and gas. Because she said after the section with the fuel station operators, several of them requested for follow-up materials. And one even shared how the checklist helped him avoid a regulatory fine. That means she was satisfied with what she did, and she was happy about it, and she developed passion to pursue advanced training in it because of what the result she got from the little she did.
Yeah, the feedback inspired her. Okay. Can I get one more?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. She showed the results from the actions she took, the checklist she developed, all of that, ensuring that it is shared out. She then showed what the result was, okay, from my know-how, from my identification of the challenge. This was what I did, and this is the result. Even from my small sphere of influence, I was able to do this. And then it fueled much more her desire for the study of the course or the study of the training in the future. So she tied that in this paragraph, sir.
Yeah, beautiful. And you've done great analysis. That's all. Results is show results. You've shown working. You from your what's it called? From your actions, you told us what you did. And if you take and we all know that to every actions there is a reaction. So basically means that to every action we should expect a result. So when you did the whole of those things you did, what did you find out? What did you learn? What was the situation like? And what she's doing here is giving us feedback. Oh, I learned this. Then I realized that, oh, this is something we really need to pay attention to, and so on. So you've done justice to that. So don't let me dwell so much on that. So let's move. So let's look at our engineer again. So what was the result of our engineer? Can I get two reviewers here too?
The simulation model process feed feature step is assigning comment that made in PC director this information not universal.
He had explained under action how the courses he took helped him to build a simulation model. And he has gone to show that the simulation model, how it worked out, and recommendation from the Director General. So thus showing him that he's on the right path, and the reason why further studies would enhance his work.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I get one more?
The engineer actually stood out himself by linking what he did. Here he was able to exhibit this simulation model at a tech expo in Port Harcourt in the presence of dignitaries like the NNPC Director General, who commended his work. So actually, he was able to solve a problem, and he also showed himself by, letting the PPDF know that once he eventually get the scholarship, he will be able to solve the numerous problems at the upstream level, which was his self-target.
Yeah. Great analysis. Thank you. And that was what basically happened here. It's just showing the result. His own part was different from the lawyer's part. That's another thing I want to call your attention to. So if you bring 1,001 people together, their results would explain be different. Why? Different. And you could see, and this is one of the reasons why I picked different sector of the oil and gas industry. He is more interested in the upstream. The lawyer does not want to do anything in the upstream. The lawyer is interested in the downstream. Okay, so we can see how these things plays out. All right. So, and that is the okay. So now that we understand the STAR star model, the situation, the task, the action, and the result, how do we now put everything together at the end of the day? So that's the next one. So how do we put all together? So, and that is what you do in your concluding paragraph. So what do you do in your concluding paragraph? Think of this as your final pitch. This is why you should invest in me. Okay. So you've read my story from the beginning to the end. You've seen what I have done. You've seen the initiative. You've seen the task. You've seen the actions I took. You've seen the outcome of the actions. So I'm somebody who has so much to bring to the table. I'm somebody who is who you can trust, even without the funding. I've done some stuff in the past, so I'm currently doing some stuff. I've committed some effort. So it means that, oh, okay, I'm trustworthy. All right. So clearly state your career goal and how it relates to the oil and gas industry. So what's next for you? What do you want to do? So you've gone through the STAR model and you're at the point of result. What do you want to do now? Okay, so explain why PTDF scholarship is the right platform for your journey. So how do PTDF come in? Okay, we have gone through your story. We know you're at this point now. Why do you need PTDF? What do you want PTDF to do for you in particular? All right, emphasize your commitment to national development. All right, because that's one of PTDF objective. Developing the oil and gas industry for national development. How do you come in? And lastly, leave the reader with sense of confidence, directions, and readiness. So now let's see, how were they able to conclude? Let's look at the lawyer friend again. So I need two people to unpack this for us. So let's look at how can you just read. You may not have to read out. You can just read on your own. Then when you have, let's take our time because it's the closing. What's it called? It's a closing paragraph. So a lot of stuffs are here. So read it. Take some few minutes or so and read it. Then if you are done, you can just unmute yourself and let's unpack this together. So let's read it in maybe a minute or less. Are we done reading?
Yes, so
All right.
yeah,
We can have 4 people here because we are almost done. We can have 4 people review. So no problem. Like go on.
she has clearly uncovered why she needs PTDF scholarship. The scholarship will empower her to deliver legal solutions that supports PTDF's vision of building a more accountable and sustainable energy sector. She understands what she wants to build and a focus. So I think she has tied it well because she was like just understanding what PTDS vision is and how the further studies would help enhance that vision for PTDF. So I think that explains it.
Okay, thank you for that. Can we get another person? Hello.
She has also shown that her future career path is to become a legal advisor and policy contributor. which will help bridge the regulation implementation gap. So, like Choma has said, she has tailored everything properly. So the finishing touches is just right on point.
Okay.
For me, I think it will fly.
Okay. Can I get one more?
Okay. I think it is able to make her objective clear by saying that she want to expand her legal career, even though she's a lawyer already. But with the help of PCDS, she's able to gain more knowledge that she'll be able to use to solve problems on the downstream sector. She has also made a desire to, be an advocate to, sustainable living. To bridge gaps between the distributors, the oil and gas industry. So basically, she just tied everything up. If you want to gain more knowledge in her career and also in the oil and gas sector, she talks about sustainability and accountability, how PCDF will foster this and make it happen. So I think that's what I have.
Thank you. I don't even have anything to add here. You've all done good job, and that is it. Is the closing word. So basically, taking everything from the beginning to R and bringing in issue of aligning its keyword, aligning it with the scholarship objective key, aligning with the scholarship objective, also projecting our future ambition, what's our career goal, what's our plan. Okay, she's bringing it in here. At the end of the day, we can categorically see what she's bringing to the table in the oil and gas industry. And it's just plain here. We know the sector where she wants to operate, and we can just follow her story from the beginning. And there's nothing she's saying here currently in her final words that she has not hinted on from the beginning. So she didn't come here and say something different entirely. We can see a link between where she's coming from and where she's going. All right. So let's see our engineer friend. So let's take a few seconds or minutes to read that of our engineer, and let's analyze this also.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please go on. If you are done, please go on.
Okay. This engineer actually made it clear to PCDS that he has been in the field for quite some years now, and he also reiterates the fact that his major aim is to contribute to the situations in the upstream sector, which is the facility reliability, to make sure that what we doing MSc program is able to help to reduce the unplanned shutdown, this production efficiency in the Nigerian oil and gas sector. So we also affirmed his confidence at the last paragraph that if PTDF is able to enhance his master's degree, he will be able to actualize these goals. And there will be boost in the production and there will be high efficiency in the upstream production. So
Great. Thank you. Can I get 2 more?
Here that he has also done his homework in terms of tailoring the choice of course he is to take during his MSc to his star model, and put it like that.
Yeah.
So everything is in line. And then he has also shown that he has a future career path, which is to help reduce unplanned shutdowns. But he didn't state what he wants to become in a few years' time, though. But he has stated that these reasons, which I feel are enough, should give the PTDF a reason to grant him the scholarship.
Can I get one more?
Hello, sir.
Are we?
Yeah, please
Okay.
go on.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please go on.
Yes. Okay, sir. If I understand this final word, is a kind of a general summary of what you've been writing from the beginning. So, focusing on the engineer's final word, we could see that he started with his experience in the past. His experience in the past, the problem he has solved, and then he now went to tell us about his long-time goal and how they align with the vision of the PTDF. Yes, and how they align with the PTDF. So he finally told us how his long-time goal will help in solving or developing the national energy sector. Yes.
Can I get one
that's
more?
what
Absolutely fine. You did well. Can I get one more? A lady. I think a lady was trying to talk at the same time before.
Yes, I wanted to ask because MJ said he hasn't stated what he wants to become in future, but I think for he stated he wants to specialize in gas infrastructure and reliability engineering. Isn't that clear enough that is where his area of focus is? So he will be working around those systems, helping to reduce unplanned shutdown, and he has actually clearly tied his entire action and result to how it is going to support PTDF in contributing directly to the national energy development. So I think the only one question I want to ask Mr. Solomon is, because we worked directly with PTDF, sometimes when you see some scholarships that are like a university has a scholarship program, but it's not like it's tied to maybe solving a particular niche or problem. Maybe they're just trying to give it out to maybe best or something. How do you word those kind? Because this one, our focus was for PTDF. How do you work around those ones where there are no specific problems that need to be solved?
Okay. Note your questions down. I would definitely answer. So now that we've done, let me just quickly just say something here. Then we'll go to questions. Then I'll answer your question, then take other questions. So here, you cannot, at your final words, you can say much, but you can't say too much. Okay? There's limit to what you can say. But okay, let me make a confession here. There is no course called gas infrastructure and reliability engineering, CUM. I made all this thing up. confession time, so that nobody's looking for this course somewhere online. Like, oh, I think I love this course. I don't know if this course exists anywhere. But I was only trying to let you see how you could tie. For the lady, I did not say anything about her school or where she's going to study and so on intentionally. But here, I decided to bring, but she talked about her future goal and what she wants to do and so on. But here, I brought the school in. So sometimes you could even bring the school in and what the school has done. Okay. Oh, I'm picking this. I'm motivated to study in this particular school, which is maybe one of the top 3 best school for petroleum technology development in Asia. Working along with Professor so and so, which who developed this. As somebody rightly said before, doing your assignment. So you could also flow in that direction if you want to. But at the end of the day, the most important thing in this closing part is that everything you have said should be in alignment with PTDF objective of either national development or solving a problem in the oil and gas industry. So at the end of the day, PTDF should see you to be okay. I think this person is in alignment with what we want to achieve. Okay, and that's all. So let's go to questions now. So let me start with our own question, then other questions will come in. Then let me quickly, hold on. Let me take our question. Let me answer our question, then I can ask, because ours is not basically related to PTDF, then we can take it down. So quickly, let me answer your question. Every scholarship has an objective. Every scholarship has an objective. The first question you have to ask yourself is, why are they giving this scholarship out in the first place? So if you can give, nobody just take money and just throws, no scholarship body just throws money out. Behind every of those money, there's an objective. For example, let me tell you something, like that EPOS, there are 2, I'm a DAT scholar. Let me give you 2 examples of 2 DAT scholarship. There's something called DAT leadership. That leadership is a scholarship that is focused on helping countries develop their leadership, like develop leaders and so on and so forth type of thing. And one of the things they integrated into their system is that their summer break, they go for leadership training in their summer break, while they're also doing postgraduate program like us. But they inculcated leadership courses and program as part of their curriculum. They don't do that in their school because that's not part of the master's program they're doing. They are something they do during summer breaks. So they organize that for them. But there's another scholarship called that EPOS. That EPOS has an objective. What is the objective? The objective is development. Helping whichever countries the scholars are coming from, helping those countries build human capital for their own national development. Okay, so even when you go to a school and you see scholarship on their website or anywhere, either you know or you don't know, there's an objective for that scholarship. Why did the school, the organization, the institution, why did they come up with the scholarship in the first place? For what reason? For what reason? Because if you don't know the reason, you will not be able to align your story with what they want to achieve. That EPOS want to develop human capital to develop country. You are talking about your own, you're talking about your leadership prowess. It will not align. Check every Erasmus scholarship. By the time you go to the website of every Erasmus scholarship, they have a whole lot of scholarships there. You will see from those websites, they will explain the scholarship to you, what they intend to achieve, what is the scholarship about, and so on. From there, you'll be able to deduce what is the objective of the scholarship. With that, you cannot use that objective now and align your own story and so on and so on to that objective. Looking through your own life and your own profile and see which things have I done in the past, or what is my profile that just perfectly aligns with this objective. And that's how these things work. Well, what you should know is that every scholarship under the 7 has an objective. The funding organizations are not just giving out money for giving sake. There is something at the back of their mind that they want to achieve. Okay, that they want to, for example, let me give you an instance. There's this scholarship in what's the name of not Switzerland. I've forgotten I've forgotten this country. This Sweden. I think is it Sweden? I can't recall now. Sweden is a scholarship focused on it's a scholarship focused on STEM women. Okay, STEM women.
It's Sweden, sir.
Yeah, Sweden. Thank you. STEM. So automatically, you know what they are trying to achieve. Okay, you know what they are trying to achieve. So you should look at the objective behind the initiation of the scholarship in the first place, and that gives you an overview of what the scholarship. Most people don't get scholarship because they don't know those funding body objectives, and eventually they don't align. Why will a guy apply to such scholarship? Why that is actually an extreme example, but that is the same thing that happens when you apply to a scholarship that you don't align with the objective. Okay, and that's how it works. So one of the most important things for every scholarship application is that find out what the objective of the scholarship is so that you can align your story to that objective. Okay, for example, there are some scholarships that, there are even some scholarships that are focused on needy. So your parents have to be under a particular maybe income before you can apply to such scholarship. There are some scholarships that are focused on high-flying students topping their class. There are scholarships that are not focused on high-flying students, but focused on people whose parents are within a particular family income. So you don't go to such scholarship talking about, you can go to such scholarship talking about how you are, how you are doing well in your academics, but you also have to tie it down to, I can't further my education because we are not earning so much in our family. So you have to, but you can't apply for a scholarship that is focused so much on merit. I are talking about how your parents don't have money, how you guys are drinking Gary. And no. That's not the focus. They want to tell you, this is what I've been able to do, this is where I'm coming from, this is what I've achieved, and so on, not pointing to your family income or the lack in quotes, okay, at home. I hope that explains these things to you. Hello?
Yeah, yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so can we get other questions so we can just call it a night? So let's have other questions. Ima, you're raising up your hand. Is it MJ?
Yes, it's MJ.
Yeah, you raised up your hand. Please go on.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate. From our case study, we're talking about the engineer working at the power sector and maintaining gas turbines. So I said something then. I was like, it is because it is directly related to the upstream. So you were like, no, that you're going to explain how it goes. Well, I'm asking because I studied electrical electronics engineering and I am interested in how these things work. So I've done some research, but I needed to get clarification on why you said it is not related.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. What I mean is this. When you said related to I said the point I was making there was not because it's related. Can we go back to the particular slide? If you see it, just come attention to it. Under where is it? Is it under tax or results also? Can you remember? Is it under action?
Situation.
It's under where? Situation, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's go back. All right. I think this is it. Over 5 years, working past maintaining gas turbine. So what's your question here again?
Is the power sector directly viable in the upstream?
No. The power sector is not. Power sector is for electricity provision. Let me explain to you. We have hydropower. Yes. We have wind turbines. we have a gas turbine.
Yes.
So these are, it's just the way these things are linked. It is how the energy sector, the oil and gas industry, plays significant role in the electricity we see. Are you with me?
Yes.
So it is, you can see how critical infrastructures are related. We see light and we say, but at the back end, as the people, at the front end, you are seeing electricity. But at the back end, it's a collaboration between oil and gas industry, or oil and gas industry is the one that is powering the system that is producing the electricity you're seeing. Is it clear?
Okay, maybe I was getting it from the research I did.
Yeah.
It was saying that the power sector is viable at the upstream because they power the equipment used for drilling and what have you. So that was what I was thinking.
Oh, in this, I know what you are talking about. You're absolutely right. But in this context, this is somebody telling their own story.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. This guy works in power generating plants. Let's put it that way. But in this power generating plants, they are using gas turbine.
Yes.
So it's not like they are generating power to power the upstream. Not at all. That's not the case here.
Okay, okay.
They are just being supplied that gas.
Okay.
You understand? So that's the scenario that is playing out here.
I get it.
Yeah. So that's the scenario. That's the scenario here. So he is not speaking it because he is not going to the upstream because they are supplying electricity to the upstream. That is not the reason for this. It was because he had worked in a power sector and realized that upstream also has power. It's just the same, the way these things are interconnected. We have power everywhere. Upstream is not the only place they are using power. I hope you know. Power is electricity. There's nothing. Electricity is at the midstream, the downstream, the upstream, everywhere. Electricity is out in our homes.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so electricity is basically everywhere. So it is not a upstream thing that electricity is just supplied to the what's called to the upstream. That's not the case here, or that's not even the case. So electricity could, if you take electrical engineering, it has application in it has application at the upstream. Then what application? Then yours is nice. Okay, if I'm a electrical engineer, okay. If I want to go into the upstream, where will electrical engineering fit in the upstream? Okay, if I want to come to the midstream, where in the midstream can I, where in the midstream can I work? So if I decide to focus on the downstream, where is the application of electrical engineer or whatever in the downstream? It's easy for somebody like you to be able to flow, but there are some disciplines that cannot flow. For example, an economist does not have business in the upstream, in quotes. Upstream is where the drilling happens. So an economist don't fit. What would an economist be doing in a drilling, like, you understand, in oil drilling site and so on? They don't really fit into that. But when you work in an oil and gas company, maybe an upstream company, that's a company and they have different departments and so on. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So we don't see these things in isolation. For example, if I work with Shell now, Shell employs all round, but Shell is an oil drilling company. They work at the, what's it called? They work at the upstream. It's an oil exploration company. So in such company, you have different departments doing different things. So they will have a special department also that are involved in the drilling itself, but it's a company. So for every other part of the company also are functioning. Some people have to pay their salary now. Some people have to take care of their health. Some people have to be involved in other things, even while they are at what's it called? Why they are why they are on oil fields and so on. There are other parts of the businesses. There are other puzzles that needs to move now. Okay, so that's the way, that's the entire concept basically. All right, so do we have any other question?
My own is a suggestion.
Okay.
If we, so I want to suggest if we can do this for proposal too.
Okay, for me, because I did not take, I'm an MSc student.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I'm more comfortable doing something I have done. I have not written a proposal for PhD.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. So I'm not the, here and I can relate examples like even if I show you my own SOP, you will see me walking through the same thing eventually. So possibly we could look into it if one of the PhD awardees in the group are available. Maybe they could run similar thing, but it all depends on them. So it's availability of the person who is going to do that. But we have, there's one of the group where someone is helping PhD people review their proposals and so on. So that could just, maybe you can just take advantage of they helping you review rather than maybe organizing a training, because they may not be, this is almost 12, this is almost, what's it called now? Midnight here, and I'm still doing this. So everybody would not necessarily have time for such.
Okay.
So do we still have any other question?
Yes, sir. My question is, can you use this same format to write a motivation letter?
SOP is the same thing as motivation letter.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah. Statement of purpose, SOP, motivation letter. It's still the same. It's still the same concept. They are the same. The only thing that's different is PhD proposal, which takes a different. And moreover, you also have the same number of word counts. I think like 500 or something. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir, please. For a course that is, let's say, for example, physics, and most of the physics fields might be related to engineering fields, like electrical, mechanical. So I think that is there not going to be a little issue concerning the fact that okay, maybe engineering students who it is their field are applying for the same position, or the special position a kind of physics student can apply for.
Sincerely, I don't understand your question.
What I'm trying to say is that, okay, as a physics student, you might.
You're a physics student.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Might have interest in maybe a mechanical engineering project or something, or maybe you want to apply
Okay, so
for.
let me get you right. You're currently a physics graduate, but you have plan of transitioning to mechanical engineering.
Yes, for example, yes.
Okay, so what's the problem?
I'm trying to understand if there will be no issue concerning that. Maybe because I didn't have.
No. I don't think there will be issue. Depending on the school, first, there are two things involved here. Number one, you have a course you want to come study overseas. You have to gain admission into the program. So does your physics undergraduate, can you study that particular course? There's a school that determines that. So, and you get every of those informations from the school website. So when you pick a particular course, if somebody that has a physics background can study the course, you would see it on the school website. All right. So, but for now, okay, go ahead.
And is it after the interview that you'll be expecting the school to give me admission, or at what point?
The school will not give you. Okay, this is how it works. I think most of you are new to this thing. Number one, at this phase, the most important thing for you, PCDF is in two phases. The phase where you are now, it's you just uploading every of your documents and your SOP or your proposal if you're a PhD person. So they will screen it, and some people would eventually be selected for the interview. So when you are selected for the interview, it means that you have scaled through phase one of the entire process. So when they send you a mail for the interview, so you go for the interview. So it is those people who scale through at the interview phase that eventually get the scholarship. After you have gotten the scholarship, then the next phase for you now is to now get admission. So for now, don't so much worry yourself about admission or anything. It's not important. You don't need admission for the scholarship. It's after you've gotten the scholarship, that's when you now begin your admission process. And thankfully enough, for people who are going to UK and the likes, the PCDF already has people who could guide you through those entire processes, and they are not too complex. So for now, don't overwork your head with a whole lot of things. The most important thing now is that how do I put forward a very strong application that will help me scale through to interview phase? Then we can now talk about how do we prepare for interview when we get to that bridge. Then when we are done with that, then we can ask, okay, let's now talk about prepare for interview. Then you go for interview. Then hopefully you get the scholarship. Then other things will now follow. So that's the best way to go about it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Yeah, please go on.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, my question is on the first part of the SOP.
Okay.
That's the situation.
Okay.
Having looked at the two case studies you presented, I discovered that they're actually talking about their past work experience.
Okay.
Let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Their past work experience and the problem they encountered, and then how they were able to solve those problems.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my own case, I'm a graduate of biochemistry, for instance.
Okay.
And the aspect I want to further my study, do my master, is bioinformatics.
Okay.
Yes, and it's related to the environmental aspect of the oil and gas industry. That's the downstream industry.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, now the problem is I don't have any during my undergraduate, and then even after my school, my work experience, I don't have any challenge that is specific to that or that can be linked to that oil and gas industry that I have actually solved.
Okay.
So I'm now finding it difficult to maneuver through all of this and link them. So how do I connect this?
Okay. Let me share something with you. Let me share an SOP with you. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen.
What's on my screen?
Statement of purpose for master degree in civil and marine engineering.
Okay, good. So this person has not done anything in the oil and gas industry, but check how they started. How did they begin?
Nigeria University. Okay. Well, they identified a problem in the oil and gas industry, given a background of the oil and gas industry, some challenges that the oil and gas industry is facing, if I can understand. And giving some data, they gave some data. Okay. Okay. I think I'm getting something here. The person now link these challenges to what he can offer, the solution he can offer.
God bless you. That's the point I'm trying to make. You can see it's more like I sat down. I've never had, and there are a lot of informations all around. This person got this, and these are information that are readily available online. And I looked at what I've studied and the bioinformatics, and I said that from the beginning also. Sometimes it will just be a passion to solve a problem, a national development concern. What this person just projected here is that the oil and gas industry is having a lot of problem, and he buttressed that with statistics, which is valid data, and looking at Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission's it means expenditure drop for 74% between 2014 and 2022. Okay, what was lost and so on. This person now highlighted the whole of this problem, more like a problem statement. But he did not stop there. Why this person has been able to talk so much about the problem, he now mentioned something, and this is it. He said, can you see what I just highlighted now?
Yes, sir.
To achieve this goal. So he now said, why challenge? Look at this paragraph that connects. He said, why these challenges exist. Nigeria's oil and gas sector possess significant potential for growth. Can you see? Paragraph 1 and 2 is talking about all the problem that is plaguing the industry, which we cannot deny. He is now saying, despite the fact that these problems are there, this industry has potential for growth. The current administration ambitious target of increasing production from this to this within this period. To achieve this goal, however, investment in specialized expertise, particularly in marine geosciences, is crucial. After all, marine geosciences form the foundation for successful offshore exploration. This was an SOP I worked on for a friend. So you could see the link here. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
So this person pointed a problem, saw what the current administration is trying to do to tackle the problem, and he is now saying this problem, there's a key aspect that in order to solve this problem, there's a key aspect we have to pay attention to. And this key aspect is the course he wants to go and study. Can you see the course he wants to go and study?
Okay.
Marine geosciences. So, and that was how this one came here. This was how this statement of third paragraph, this is to achieve this goal, investment in specialized expertise, particularly marine geosciences, is crucial. After all, marine geosciences form the foundation for successful offshore exploration. This SOP you are seeing here gave him what's it called, landed him in for the interview. It was just quite painful. He didn't get his scholarship by the end of the day, but it's fine. So that's it.
Okay.
So he now started from here now, his own journey. Yeah, my hands-on
experience.
How his own experience, how his own expertise, and so on. Like the whole of those paragraph. This paragraph was talking about my hands-on experience as a project engineer in Nigeria's oil-rich Ogoni land. We brought in this oil-rich Ogoni land. We could have just said Ogoni land or Delta State or so, but we just want to say we've also have some interactions with oil and gas at some point, despite being a project engineer. Despite he's a civil engineer. What was he doing in Ogoni land? He wasn't drilling oil. What was he doing? He was leading construction projects like shoreline protection at Geo, road construction at Eleme and Unyo Kuru, and a naval jetty at Burukiri, exposed me to first-hand to the industry operational environment. So he was saying, I was working in oil and gas sector, oil and gas environment. So that gave me first-hand information or encounter with the environment where this industry are stationed. Okay. So, where am I? Okay, through direct interactions with industry professionals, look at the situation, how he took up interest in where he's going to. Can you see? He said, through direct interaction with industry professionals, I gained invaluable insight that solidified my desire to contribute significantly to this critical sector. These experiences and interactions, he now went for that, furthered my awareness of the vital role. So it was what he learned from his interactions that birthed his interest in marine sciences.
Okay.
So it's just that flow. So eventually he was now saying this is why he wants to go and study this course here. Then my pursuit would extend this and so on. This was for him. This was the first time he was applying for PTDF. But he's my guy, so I had to remove his name from the list. So, but what happened was that I wish he can even still apply again because this thing will still fly. So that was how he was able to tie. He had never done any. He's a civil engineer like me, So, but he was able to, we find a way of tying his journey and everything. But because we can't start like this, what's it called? These case studies we use today, we need to talk about the oil and gas industry in general, look at the particular problem they are facing and saying, okay, this is the solution and this is the role I can play in this solution, in this problem that the oil and gas industry is faced with currently. So that's how this, in your own case, that's how it can work.
Okay, so thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. So this is 12:07 here. Let me see. Do we have any question? Then we can basically call it a day. So I can also go sleep. Any other question?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. Let me just take 2 more questions. So I have to also go because it's late already. So I need to go sleep.
Can I go ahead with the question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, I once attended the interview for the last PTDF scholarship 2024.
Okay, wow, that's great.
Yeah, unfortunately, during the second phase, I was not successful. So my question goes like this: is there need for me to like retouch, make some amendment to my last statement of purpose because I'm still trying to pursue the same program and the same course of study in my master's degree? So I'm about to make the application, but I just want to clarify. I will just need a clarification. Should I make some polish to the statement of purpose, or I should just draft a new one again?
Yeah, I think that would basically be you. I don't know how good. If you ask me to write my statement of purpose that I used in 2023, use it again. Then I read it today. I read it today. It's still good. I capture everything I need to capture, but I know much better now. You understand? Like you won't say the same you. You won't say maybe yeah. Maybe you've learned some new. For example, possibly. Do you know the star model prior to this period? Do you know about this model?
Sir?
This model before today?
Oh, which of the? Okay, no, not really.
Yeah.
No, not really.
So you could look at what you've written before and say, okay, maybe I can use this approach this time around. And if you think what you have before is good enough, it's fine. So there are no, and this model is not the only model of writing SOP. That's another thing. So this is not like the approach. Okay, this is not like the only approach. Also, this approach also can be modified to suit different situations. But I've always used this because I love the chronological order of just helping the flow and helping the storytelling. Okay, so the person can flow through. For me, if you talk about SOP writing for me, this is my most preferred approach for writing SOP. But it doesn't mean that this is the only method or way which one could write SOP. So I'm basically just teaching what have worked for me and a model I know works very well and can help you. It's just you asking, the model is so perfect. It's just you answering some questions.
Okay.
Yeah, situation, state the situation. So you can just answer those questions. Then you can now go on and now polish it, put it together, rephrase where you need to rephrase, align where you need to align, and you arrive where you want to arrive. So at the end of the day, every key details are captured. Unlike you don't have a roadmap to write, and you are just bringing any, you don't even know what should come in before what. You are just modeling everything together. And the person reading does not know what should come before what and so on. So that's why I just prefer this.
So it's all right, sir. I'm very grateful. I will go by this time. Thank you so much for today.
Yeah. Any other question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this should be the last one, so I need to go sleep, my people. All right, please go ahead. Yeah, I can't hear you sincerely. Your line is breaking.
I wanted to ask the effect of using AI.
Hello.
The effect of doing what?
I said the effect of using AI for stuff like this.
Okay, there are 2 ways basically. For me, in most instances, I use AI, but I use AI for conceptualization. Research, conceptualization, you can use AI. Or you should sit down, because in most instances, if you just go to AI and just type, write SOP for me on AI does not know you. So even if you are going to use AI should just be used to dot your T's and dot your I's and cross your T's. It is not AI taking that work off you. What we saw today, there's an order, there's an experience they had. You understand? Just how will I even start with like, okay, I stayed here before. All those times you are using to write those long, because you have to write a whole lot of things. So what I would advise oftentimes is that when you are using AI, use it for conceptualizations or after you have written your SOP. All right. You can also use AI to critique it. I've written this thing. Does it fit into the what's it called, STAR model? So you could use AI to critique. You could use AI to analyze. You could use AI to conceptualize. You could use AI to do research. But at the end of the day, whatever you are giving out to PTDF should be something that you have sat down yourself and tell your own story. Tell your own story. Tell your own story. Very important. Then you can now use AI or any other, not only AI, maybe Grammarly or any other tools that are out there to now polish structure and so on. It's that's the application of AI, not you just saying, oh yeah, I want to apply for PTDF scholarship, write SOP for me. He would say a lot of things that are not relevant, or not even say things that are key. Okay, so that's my take on AI.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for staying with me to the end, I said in my what's it called? I said in my where is it? In the message I sent out today, I mentioned that I have a special gift for those that have come to class today, and I think other people have gone. So I have a gift for you. So let me stop sharing so we can now stop share. Okay. Okay. So are we all still there?
So is it possible to get the presentation, the slide?
I won't be able to post tonight, but I would get it. I'll put it on YouTube. You can always have access to it on YouTube. So for those of you who came to class today and who have stayed with me to the end, don't go yet. If you go now, you will miss out on what I prepared for you. I'm not going to share it on the group. It's only for people who came to class. So don't rush. I'm trying to drop it in the what's it called?
Chat box.
I'm trying to drop it in the chat box. Share to group.
Yes.
Okay, what's happening? I'm coming, just give me. Oh, okay, sorry. So I dropped a link there. So check the chat box. I dropped a link there. That link, it contains almost 25 or 30 SOPs. Yeah, like different SOPs, almost 30. So one thing you should do is that this is not you copying it. These are just different SOP. What it also helps you do is that when you have read other people's SOP, you can pick idea, concept, innovations. Okay, I think I love this flow. I love how this paragraph flowed into this paragraph. Those type of things. So you picking up on other people's ideas, structuring and so on, or maybe there's something they said, but this is not related to PTDF. It's just SOPs, different SOPs from different people. So I got it somewhere, that someone has put it together. So that was what I said I should share with you tonight. All right.
Thank you, sir.
That's for you, and thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome. So lastly, I want to ask, how many of you are not on my YouTube channel? I've not subscribed to my YouTube channel.
I subscribed. I got to enter your.
You better confess now.
I was the one that messaged you on Facebook. that I needed a link to the group chat.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
So
thank you
it
so much.
was from your YouTube channel that I got to
Yeah.
find you on Facebook.
And thank you so much. I'm very grateful. So let me copy, because I know a lot of people are not on that YouTube. We are trying to build that YouTube channel. I better confess. So, how many of you are not on my YouTube? Are not subscribed to my YouTube and you are on this call? Don't worry, I will not arrest you. So, if you are not there, Control V. Is that it? Yeah. If you are not there, I dropped it in. If you are not there, you can just quickly click on it now and just kindly help me subscribe to my YouTube channel also. So, in the absence of any other question, I think we can call it a day, or call it a night rather, at this point. So I would get maybe tomorrow, I will get the video to the channel so you can check it out there and use it for your revision and so on. So remember, the plan for this week is for you to write and rewrite and review. So you can use this entire week to work on your SOP. Then, by next week, I think the plan is next week I'll be bringing in some friends who are going to speak with you. But that is something I'm looking at. Either it's possible, either we'll be able to do that or not. I can't tell at this point, but I should let you guys know if that will still hold. Maybe in the course of before next week Sunday, I will let you know if it's still possible or not. All right. So if there's any other thing, we'll just continue the conversations in the group. If you have any challenge, put it in the group. If I'm not there to attend to you, somebody will surely attend to you. All right. So once again, thank you so much. You said?
Thank you, sir.
You saying something?
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank
Please, I
you.
want to add. Hello?
Yeah. Go on, please.
Okay. My network just cut me short, so I was unable to get the gift that you talked about.
It's a link. It's on the what's it called?
Chats.
It's in the chat. Can't you see the chat room? Can you see the chat?
No, I can't see the chat. I can't see.
Okay, so I have to repost it again. Let me reshare. Copy. So can you see it now? Can you see it now?
No, like I can't see the button to view the chat. What I'm seeing is just the people that are in the meeting. I can't see any button for me to click to view the chat.
Oh, really? What's happening at the end? All right. Are you on the group? Are you on the group?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
I'm on the group,
This
sir.
link is not for the group. Don't share it on the group, please. What happened is that just drop a message for me. I would maybe send it to you directly in your WhatsApp.
Okay.
All right. So
All
that
right.
we don't waste time on that. So once again, thank you, everyone. We have to end the call at this point. All right. So do have a great week ahead, and I wish you all the best in your application. Good night, everyone.
Good night, sir.